Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Diplomacy Leadership Actions for Empowerment Change. Today, we have a trending topic. Also, hi, Denise. We have a great expert who will be sharing her insights and expertise on the topic artificial intelligence. So, Denise, tell us about the topic of today.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. And today's topic is about artificial intelligence and the right to privacy. So let's go to it.
Yeah.
The right to privacy is an important topic in today's era of digital and internet epoch. So it is important first to understand how it works, the artificial intelligence, and how it is related to human rights. Let's go to see first this index. We're going to
Yes.
talk about different topics about human rights, specifically the right to privacy, and how it is important, the artificial intelligence, and our final considerations. First, we want to talk about what is international artificial intelligence. Second, about the right to privacy, the protection of the right to privacy, digital right to privacy, the importance of the corporate responsibility for artificial intelligence, and our final considerations.
Wow, this is a completely webinar.
Yes. First, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, it is composed of a variety of technologies. It is contrary to the general knowledge that it is about only one technology. It's the sum of many technologies. That's in final sum, artificial intelligence. Although there is not a concept about what it is artificial intelligence, we can see this definition that the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, together with the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, had on this issue. The definition follows as next. Artificial intelligence is defined as the ability of machines and systems to acquire and apply knowledge and to carry out intelligent behavior. This intelligent behavior includes a variety of cognitive tasks and also the ability to move and manipulate objects. How do you see this, Sophia?
I think that we already don't have enough knowledge to improve and also to have the solutions in different topics about the human rights. And also, I think that it's very dangerous because sometimes the artificial intelligence can be manipulated with a specific type of society also. I don't know.
Yeah, according actually what you have to say right now, it is important because we can see many elements of this general knowledge of this definition that
Yes.
includes first machines. Second, these important systems, softwares that works with this, and also the ability of these machines and systems to put together these human abilities to first have this important data, and also
Yes.
the behavior and this comparison to trying to do the equal movements of a human person. So we have these many elements, and through this webinar we're going to extend more this definition because it is important to have all this complete insight of what is and should be regulated as artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Now we have this important reflection of what means in general terms artificial intelligence, and we have this capacity that have the machines to have this similar alike human behaviors. And it is important to understand that it not only limits only to to have this data, but also it's about physical movements. So together they have this ability to control, and to control right now from themselves, but also they have this control of information. So it is important to understand that the strength of artificial intelligence is the collection and analysis of data. It is important to understand that information comes and it is provided by human beings. So we have from different sources, just like, social media, when we go
Yes.
to a bureaucratic procedure, we have to share our information, such as, biometrics, facial recognition. In the banks also we have these important, techniques. And we can see that, artificial intelligence, these machines and systems are collecting this important data that
Yes.
actually we as human beings, we are giving it, sometimes in a very consent way, but other times in a very, we don't have that knowledge that we are giving that information.
Yeah, and also I was discussed with another expert told us that also the artificial intelligence have the knowledge, but also for a specific date. Like after the pandemic, they don't have the information, this artificial intelligence. So it's very
Okay.
dangerous how many information these machines could be improved for different human rights in the future, right?
Yes, yes. And this is defining actually the concept of what is artificial intelligence, because we are seeing new elements that we didn't have before. And that's why it's important to understand actually the dangers of artificial intelligence. One of those dangers is this transgression to the human rights, specifically the right to privacy. We have this important reflection here. We have to stop and think, what are the limits that artificial intelligence should have in terms of the privacy of human beings?
Yes.
We have a little bit this precedent back in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that it provides us the basic structure of legal framework.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, it provides the Article 12, where it says, the right to privacy is a human right. We have the important basis and axis of this digital right also. We have
Yes.
also another important legal document, that is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, that establishes in this Article 17 that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary and unlawful interference with his privacy. And it extended the privacy not only for the person, but also for the family, home, and correspondence. We can see in digital times that we use a lot of, Hotmail, Gmail services, and other email services that it's similar to correspondence. So we have right now this important structure that we need to renovate in new covenants or treaties, international treaties, to be according to the recent times.
Yeah, and nowadays it's similar like artificial intelligence about the commitment and the contract that every person do. Like for example, this social media, you don't have the time to discuss what are you agree with the terms, what you didn't want to share. Like this social media have the power to a lot of information that everyone's give in information in a different ways.
Yes, yes. And also, we have this important report of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. It was made back in 2021. And, they reported this right to privacy and, the intersection with artificial intelligence. And during the pages, we can see that the report, it makes relevant the catastrophic consequences if there is not an international regulation. Artificial intelligence, it is important to have this regulation, because it provides the artificial intelligence these limits to where can go and where don't. you know. In human rights topics, we can see, for instance, these cases, these examples, like tracking the contacts, like for instance, social media, your cell phone, or even your emails, can have this access to tracking your contact information, but also your personal information. And
Yes.
sometimes we, as as social users, um, we don't know what we are providing, what we
Yeah.
are giving, what kind of
And
information we are giving, and the consequences of it.
yes, and
So,
also, for
yeah,
example, here in Latin America, we have a specific chat that we also all the jump sends about the voice a message. So maybe they have a lot of data about what is your voice, what is your sound, so how you express, and there is a lot of knowledge about every human in the planet. And also
yeah,
there is two famous uh, there's two famous uh, mm, gadgets that we also use normally, like, can you put this song please, can you tell me what is today today, the very famous machine that we
yeah,
already
yeah, yeah,
use.
yeah, of course.
And normally you are not conscious how many information you give in maybe 4 hours for a week, or also for the day, because you have this conversation with a machine also.
Exactly. And, for instance, talking about the voice, it is important to have also regulations, because you might be providing your voice data, and maybe this artificial intelligence might take it. And here it's important to understand that this information goes to the owner of this artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So we can see another subject of international treaties and of international law, that is the international companies that produce this artificial intelligence, and also governments, and also, the society. So it is a complex and interrelated responsibility about the use of this technology.
Yeah, and also, how you already tell us about without limits, it's very important to have this specific knowledge about African continent, that they are not ready because they have already um, human rights with no privacy. So
Yes, there is like an inequality, digital inequality, because they don't
yes,
have access to this. So this gives advantage to the countries that they have it, or the companies they have it. And, the competence, the competition is just not longer fair enough. So there is a lot of, things involved in these digital rights. But let's
yes,
continue with the
of
presentation.
course.
And now we are going to talk about, this collected information. Remember that data is to say it is the main force of artificial intelligence. And we have this data that is collected and used in this virtual world, in these computers, machines, social media, that actually influence the decision making of people in the real world. So it surpasses this line between only the computer or the virtual world, and it come up to this real world.
Yeah, it's more like it's similar, but these have more responsibility, like social media.
Yeah,
Like it's not the real world, but sometimes the childrens also start thinking that it's the real world.
absolutely. Absolutely. And actually, it comes here, the self-determination. Where is it? Because, the self-determination, and also the self-identity, because children, as you said, they are a vulnerable group in this digital area. So they don't have this important criteria of
And the
what to
experience
do,
to
what
have
to
the
share.
knowledge, right? Like what is good,
Exactly.
what is wrong. And also they learn very fast.
Yes, and they don't know what actually they are doing, what are they sharing, what kind of information they are actually putting there that might compromises them and also their families. So this data collection and information, it is important to regulate it because it transgresses this human right to privacy. And it is crucial to have in mind and be conscious and aware that the exercise of the right to privacy comes up with and is related with other human rights, such as, you know, freedom to choose, freedom of expression, freedom to decide and act by our own as a human beings and without any other influence. So it is a relation between human rights. That's the characteristic of human rights, that they are not only one thing. They come up and they are real interrelated with other rights. So it is important to protect this human right. Also, we have this, digital right privacy that put in danger the human being as itself and the humankind, because, you know, surveillance and censorship and harassment are part of this danger. And according to this report, it is important to have these important mechanisms of transparency and, you know, and international treaties that regulate this, because if not, we are being, this kind of objective attack,
Yeah.
digital attack that might affect us in the real world. So it is important to establish and it is essential to express and to determine that freedom, self-determination, and personal identity are the main words and actions that we need to protect
Yeah.
from our human rights, because are the basis of right to privacy. So while surveillance, censorship, and harassment are the main issues, freedom, the self-determination, and personal identity are the main basis, the important thing to protect from our right to privacy. Now we have this extension to the corporations that actually made artificial intelligence together with the states and also another international actors of the international field. And it is important to say that there is a document, it was made back in 2011, that it's like a guide, a guide that it calls all the business and corporations to respect human rights. It is called Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights, and the
Wow.
main structure is about the companies. They have to respect human rights and address, this is important, address any adverse impact in which they are involved. They have responsibility. And to this end, it is important the prevention and the repair in case they have they provoke this negative damage on humankind, on human beings. And to say this, it is important to put it also in the international law. Here in Global Diplomacy, Leadership Actions for Empowerment Change, we are working to promote the human right to privacy through international pact, covenant, or treaty that respect this human right in digital area. And it is important to understand that the business and corporations, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a small, medium, or large size. They have responsibility over this. If they create it, they have to be responsible if they made negative consequences.
Yes. And also to all the international organization.
Yeah, of course. International organizations, they need to act and prevent these situations.
The transparency.
Yeah, transparency, cooperation, giving this information to society.
Yeah.
you know, because we need to be aware of what area we are entering in, and about the you know, the all the perspectives of the digital area.
Mhm.
So as our final considerations, we have this, actually, as you said, Sophia, international bodies, international, the states, companies, non-governmental organizations, and the academia must work together to create an international legal framework that regulates the development of artificial intelligence and protect at all times the freedom, self-determination, personal identity, and the right to privacy of human beings, as well the protection against surveillance, censorship, and harassment. The impact of artificial intelligence on global governance continues to advance, and it is therefore important to be prepared. Talking about prepared, you know, be prepared is about to know what is artificial intelligence, what are the pros, what are the advantages and the disadvantages, how they can, you know, the state can take these legislative measures and state measures to protect in all times this human freedom to the privacy. I have prepared this, you know, this artificial intelligence rank that is provided by Oxford, and it says that
Okay.
it talks about, you know, the preparedness of governments about artificial intelligence last year in 2022. And the index tells us that United States, Singapore, and the United Kingdom are the first three countries that are prepared, the most prepared countries on this topic. We also have a ranking of 181 countries. That the least prepared countries are Yemen, Syria, and Afghanistan. So we have to break these, you know, inequalities on digital area, and we have to prepare all the states also to share through international cooperation this important artificial intelligence, you know, tools, technology, to stop, you know, these inequalities on the international field that can be used, you know, in advantage of those that they have it. Because as a final reflection and you know, conclusion, we can see that the artificial intelligence, it is, you know, it is based on human data most of the times, and it is important to regulate the process of obtaining and using this data. We can see this, for instance, you know, in many social media, and civil society and you know, and all the international society should be, you know, conscious and informed, for they to have this right to also to choose what information to give, and you know, when to, you know, to be part of this digital area, and also to have this important awareness, not only for them but also for their families.
Yes.
So till here we have this important webinar, and thank you for watching.
Yes, and thank you to you to this introduction about the artificial intelligence, because it's very important to, first of all, understand the concept, the terms that we are already talking. And the second, this ranking, it's very surprised to me, because I was thinking in another countries that maybe they have a lot of knowledge about artificial intelligence. But
Yes, actually, let me say something very quickly. Half of the countries that are in this index in the first 20 positions are
yeah,
from Europe. So, you know, we see
okay.
there like an inequality, because they have this technology that they might share to other countries,
Yeah.
but also regulate this, right?
Yeah, and also I was thinking, because artificial intelligence is something that have to a very strong relation with climate change. So maybe we're going to continue to talking about artificial intelligence and climate change in our next season.
Yes, yes, climate change and artificial intelligence are very related because artificial intelligence, these machines and systems needs, to
And
be
specific minerals, yes, and
exactly,
elements. It's not
yeah,
only the machine and the information.
exactly, and they produce a lot of, important damage to the climate change, to the earth. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we are ready to hear you on our next webinar about artificial intelligence and climate change. So thank you, Denise, for your knowledge and also to sharing to all of people that we are already online. So thank you. Do you want to
Thanks
add
to you.
something?
And yes, no, I mean, I'm happy to be here, and it is a pleasure for me to share
Yeah.
this information.
And also to all the person that we already here and also the diplomats that we have some working together, and also we are a lot of forums that we already prepared to share this information also, because artificial intelligence right now it's the trending topic. So I think that talking about the diplomacy and artificial intelligence, the law and the artificial intelligence, the climate change, also like the artificial intelligence have a lot of huge topic that we already discussed, and also improve our knowledge about what we are already thinking and what is the real information.
Yes, and please, if you, I mean, all the people that are seeing this have some comments, what the definition of artificial intelligence should have, please just leave it in the comments. Send us your thoughts about it.
Your
And
experience also.
yeah, your
Yes.
experience. You can be part of this too. Like, we are so happy that you are joining us today, and please send us all of your comments.
Yes. So thank you, Denise, and thank you everyone to watching us. And also remember to continue to see our different topics